What's going on, guys? It is Carly here bringing you day 31 of my 31 Days of Horror 2019. Yes, this is the final day, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie that is honestly more of a thriller once again, and I do apologize, guys. I feel like so many of the movies in this year's 31 Days have been like thrillers or just darker themed movies rather than straight up horror films. So, you know, if you find that a little disappointing, I am sorry. Like I said, these are kind of movies I've had in my collection for quite a while that I just hadn't gotten around to watching because, in my opinion, they seemed like they weren't going to be horror films, or they just seemed like I wasn't going to like them that much. So I kind of put them off, and this was kind of my way of finally going through some of them. And I have had a fun time going through these movies, I will say that. But, you know, like I said, some of them are more borderline horror than they are straight up horror. So I do apologize for that. But today we're going to be talking about a movie from the year 1971, and that is Straw Dogs, starring Dustin Hoffman here. And I know there's a remake of this, I think, from 2011. I haven't seen that one, and I hadn't seen this one before either. But Straw Dogs, this is essentially about a man and his wife who decide to move to the country area to get away from the hectic lifestyle of where they're living before. So they kind of move out here for some more peace and quiet type of deal, and while they're there, they are pretty much, I guess you could say, harassed and bothered by the men of the town, and it just kind of starts to escalate, and it leads to you know, some horrendous acts, and it kind of leads up to what you get by the end of the film. So yeah, your main focus really is just this husband and wife as they are dealing with this sort of harassment and bullying and just vicious kind of attacks going on by these men in the town. I gotta say, this one, I didn't really know much about it going into it. I did kind of read the synopsis before watching it to get an idea of what I was getting myself into, because it is a longer movie and it is an older movie, and I was afraid that I might have trouble following it, because I do kind of struggle with that sometimes, especially with older films and slower burn movies. So I kind of read up on it a little bit first, and I gotta say, I did enjoy this one. Like I said, I do think it is a little bit slow at times, but at the same time, I kind of enjoy the tense sort of build-up and relationship building, or not building, but rather just watching the relationship between Dustin Hoffman and his wife in this movie. I forget who plays her exactly. It's not someone that I'd really ever seen before in anything, but yeah, you get like a lot of tense moments with the husband and wife where they're kind of not getting along that well, and it's just like the husband in this movie, I forget his name too, sorry guys, I suck at that, I believe it's David, but he is a little standoffish at times, and his wife just kind of wants attention, and she's getting like upset by the way he's acting. He's just kind of burying himself in his work, and it kind of you know, makes the ending and another scene that happens in this movie more effective. And there is actually a rape scene in this movie, and I do think it is pretty well done. You know, I hate to say that a rape scene is a good scene, because that's, you know, you don't ever want to really compliment a rape scene, but I think it is well done in terms of how it's done. It's not over the top where you're seeing a whole lot, but what you do see is effective, and it makes it all the more emotional, and just the reactions from the female character, and just the way it's shot, because during the scene you kind of, she's seeing like scenes of her husband and what's going on during her being raped, and you also get scenes later on in the movie where she's kind of picturing what happened to her, and I just think the movie is shot really well in that aspect. I always like that stuff where you can have a character going through a horrible time, and then you have like her husband off just hunting and waiting patiently for his friends to come back, and that's kind of what you get in this movie. And then you also have there's just this tension, because she doesn't run and tell her husband that she's been raped by these guys, and then they end up going to this party and those guys are all around, and it's just very, you know, kind of upsetting, I guess, to see the character go through that. And I think she does a good job of showing her emotions, and like I said, the movie does a good job with how it kind of shows flashbacks to what happened to her, and it's just really effective in that nature. Then the end of the movie, you get sort of these, something occurs, and the husband and wife basically are trying to help out this character who is gotten into some trouble, and the townspeople all know that he's at their house, and they come and start terrorizing the house because they want to pretty much kill the guy who did what he did, and that's kind of the main thing in the movie, the main tense moment you get, I guess the most horrific thing besides the, of course, the rape scene, and I enjoy that as well. The husband and wife character, they, you know, they look like they've gone through hell by the end of it. They're all, like, bloodied up, beaten up, and the David character, I think that's, like I said, I think that's his name. He's just very pale, and he looks bruised, and I just think it's very well done the way they look by the end of it. Very realistic, I guess you can say. This whole movie just has a very sort of realistic feel that you would think would happen in real life if this type of stuff went down for a couple or just people in general. So overall, I did enjoy this one. Is it one that I would run back to over and over again? Probably not, because like I said, it is kind of slow, and it's not necessarily a horror movie. It's definitely more along the lines of a thriller slash drama slash crime type of deal. So probably not one I would really rewatch over and over again unless I had to for like a podcast or review purposes or something like that. But I think it is a well done film, and I do recommend it to people who just like really tense, atmospheric, just thrilling movies that, like I said, are more on the realistic side than they are on the over-the-top side. So do recommend it for anyone who's interested in that. And I give Straw Dogs an 8 out of 10. So thank you guys for joining me for this video. Thank you for joining me for day 31 here. And of course, if you stuck around the whole time, thank you for joining me for this year's 31 Days of Horror. It has been fun, and I have enjoyed reviewing these movies. You know, next year, maybe I'll theme it out a little bit better. I kind of like the idea of doing this alphabetical order thing. I thought about maybe next year, if I have a, you know, tremendous stack of films again, to sort of do maybe by the years they came out, but you know, that's a whole year from now. We will see what I am feeling at that time. So thank you guys for joining me for this series, and as always, I will see you in the next video.